Hi folks, so I hope you can hear me well in this mask. I've just taken one COVID Express, I'm about to get on another, heading for central London, where I plan to visit the only Catholic church or cathedral in the city of London. Should be good.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform.
Okay, hi folks. So I got off at Monument Station. It isn't actually that close to the church, the Catholic church that I'm heading for. It's right by the monument in London, of course, so since I'm right by it, I might as well show you it. Okay, but I'm going to be actually heading the other way. I'm going to be heading for a church called St Mary Moorfields. That is probably about well, I don't know, let's say close to 20-minute walk from here. But I figured it's a sunny day, or at least it was for a while. Doesn't seem that sunny right now. I've got my sunglasses and my hat ready if the sun comes out again. Because even though I like the sun sometimes doesn't like me. So I'm going to try and talk a little bit about the situation here as I'm heading there, make sure I don't get run over while I'm doing it. Okay. So it's, as I said before, it is the only Catholic church or cathedral in the city of London. Now, just to be clear, the city of London, it doesn't mean London, it means it's a particular part in central London called the City of London. It's like the financial district, the kind of, you get a lot of bankers there and a lot of people that work in the financial sector. And in the City of London, there are actually quite a few. If you type in cathedrals or churches, or cathedrals and churches, City of London, you do get shown quite a few of them on the map. But then when you start to click on them one by one, you realise that actually they are Protestant, they're Church of England. And this one that I'm heading to is the only Catholic one. Now, just put my mask away. Of course, Catholicism was fine here for a long time until the Reformation, and then suddenly there was a problem and it became illegal to practice Catholicism. Now, in the 17th and 18th, so the Reformation happened in the 1500s. In the 17th and 18th centuries, there were some Catholic chapels springing up in the City of London. They weren't really allowed, but they were springing up. And actually they were often known as penny hotels. Basically you had to turn up and pay a penny to the guy behind the grill on the door. I don't actually know why you had to do that. I've just read that that's what people had to do when they were known as penny hotels, because you had to pay a penny. I don't know whether that was some precaution to make sure that, or perhaps it was to help out with the finances of it, I don't know. But yeah, there were known as penny hotels. There weren't many of them, and the ones that were there were either, when it was found out that they were there, they were either closed down, or sometimes they were vandalized, attacked, there were some riots, or they went in and destroyed the altar and stuff for one of the chapels. So it wasn't easy until 1791, when Catholicism was officially allowed again. People were officially allowed to practice the Catholic faith. And then this place where I'm heading to, St Mary Moorfields, in 1820 was when they made that church. It was, let's say they opened that church. And that was there till 1899, and it was taken down. And the one I'm heading to now is the one they put up in 1903, so 4 years later. It's right near the place where they had the initial one. But the one in 1820, when the original St Mary Moorfields was opened, it's actually its 200th anniversary now. Just realised it's 2020, 1820. Yeah, this one has been there, the one that we're heading to has been there since 1903. Because of this unusual pandemic situation, there is a bit of a short time span where you can actually go into a church now. So I have to get there at a very particular time, so I'm actually able to do a bit of filming before they start the mass when I want to be filming, not to disturb people. But anyway, yeah. Sun's starting to come out there now. Might get a hat out soon. Okay, so we're getting close. One thing I didn't mention just before we get there is there was a time, not that long ago actually, 1994, before 1994, St Mary Moorfields was considered to be in the borough of Hackney. So even though it was still positioned here, it wasn't officially considered to be part of the City of London. So at that point there were actually no Catholic churches or cathedrals in the City of London up until 1994, from after the Reformation. So we're getting to the road where the church is. Okay, I think this is the road. Now, another thing that's really weird is it's actually very difficult to notice this church. I almost think of that as the invisible church, because there isn't, this road is kind of a very commercial road, and you could quite easily walk past the church and not even realise you have gone past it. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to just walk along this road, and we'll see if you can actually see where the church is. I'm going to point the camera at the buildings and then just see if you notice it, or if you don't, because it doesn't have the kind of traditional church facade. If you look closely you can tell it's a church, but it isn't obvious. Like, you know, normally when you go past the church you see a church, it's like, oh, there's a church. So see if you notice this church when I walk past it. So did you see it? The church? You might have noticed it. It was that one of those doors was the entrance to it. So we'll just go back. Isn't that noticeable? I mean, you know, if you know what you're looking for, you'll probably find it. So there's the entrance there to the church with the little sign. And actually, if you look up, you do notice some kind of, you've got the Virgin Mary and Child there and some angels. But the building generally, apart from that archway above the entrance, just looks like a building. It could be, if you didn't look up, if you just walked past the entrance, you could just think it's some kind of building where people live or a shop. So anyway, time to go inside.
And you, good boy. Good girl even. Should be calling her a boy. Oh.
Into the church. Okay, so that's pretty much it. It isn't a particularly big church. One thing I also want to mention is that it's sort of like the hub for young Catholics who work in the City of London in the financial sector. I don't know how well that recorded inside the church. Sometimes it's difficult to do a good video because some of the churches, the lighting is a bit more dim. It isn't really lit up, so it can be quite tricky. Also, I probably don't have the most amazing camera, but hope you managed to get some type of a look, and thank you for watching the video.